Everybody's talking about the new multi-cookers. Have you seen these things? They're huge. They take up a lot of counter space, but it might be worth it if it works really well. I kind of enjoy the process of cooking, so I don't mind things taking a long time, but this has me a little intrigued too. Some friends got one and they love it. So I'm going to try and make a pretty basic recipe using it. Got some chicken, some vegetables. Going to make some chicken vegetable soup. Hi, welcome to John Eats Cheap. I got a nice cheap meal today that I already know ahead of time is a good one. I like to make my chicken vegetable soup from scratch. I mean, I don't even like to pay, I'm so cheap I don't like to pay for chicken broth. So I make my own. When I have a whole chicken and cut it up, I take the scraps, usually the back and the wing tips, stuff like that, and put it in a bag and freeze it. After a couple of chickens, you got enough to make some stock. Well, to make my chicken stock, I'm going to use the multi-cooker. Going to see how this sucker works as a pressure cooker to make stock, and then as a regular cooker to make my chicken vegetable soup. Got my ingredients, the scraps for the broth. We'll make that first. Then we'll add in some vegetables, the chicken from the scraps, maybe a chicken breast, and a little bit of soup base. That's my basic recipe. Let's get started. Okay, let's get started on the chicken stock first. Here's all my chicken parts. Frozen solid in a block. A friend of mine said the great thing about the multi-cooker is you can throw something frozen in there and it cooks in the same time as if it's thawed out. So we're going to try that. We'll put it in the pot here. Now we need to just cover it with water. And again, one of the reasons I make my own stock is because I'm cheap. I don't like to pay for something that's free. I mean, it's water and chicken scraps, right? You might as well use all the chicken. Second of all, some people say, well, then you know what's in it. Yeah, I don't care about that. It's just that it's free. That's a lot easier. All right. That should be good. I hope it doesn't overflow. We're going to find out. I got this, borrowing this from my mother-in-law just to try it out to see if it's counter space worthy. So we're going to spin it around. We have to close the pressure gate. And now I just want to do a manual pressure cook. We'll go ahead and put it on poultry since it's frozen. We'll do a normal pressure cook for my broth, or a normal time I don't pressure cook it. I just make the broth is about an hour or two that I kind of simmer it. So this I'm going to go with, we'll go with 20 minutes. We'll see how it is after that. Let's cook some chicken broth. The multi-cooker beeped. Everything's ready. It's in warm. We'll make sure the pressure is released, and that's real hot, so you don't want to play with it because you could get burned really bad. Smells good. Smells like chicken soup, and we have soup. I'm going to fish our one chicken breast that we threw in there out, and we'll kind of dice that up. All right, there's our chicken breast. So we'll put that back in. Chicken that we salvaged off of the bones and the scraps. Let's give it a stir. Looks like chicken soup. All right. Homemade chicken vegetable soup. That's the final product. This you could add some crackers to it. You could add a little cornstarch if you want to make it a little bit thicker. Oh, now I want to get sick, so I have to have chicken soup. You could put noodles in here too, be very good. I would say the Instapot does a great job on making, obviously I'm making a soup, on making the broth to make the soup. I did like that. I need to do more stuff. So I'd love to hear from you. Follow me on Facebook and on Twitter, John Eats Cheap. I'd love to hear from you if you have recipes of something that's really impressive that you make with your multi-cooker, so we can see if it's really worthy of counter space in my kitchen. I'd love to hear from you. Share the video too. I appreciate you watching. Thanks.